Hi everyone, so I'm here today with Aggie and we're going to do a consultation about driving anxiety. So first of all, are you aware this is being recorded?
Yes.
Yep. And are you okay for this to go on YouTube?
Yes.
Yep, that's good. Okay, that's the stuff out of the way. So first of all, can you tell me what is the problem that brought you here today?
Yeah, so actually, I have to say that I am kind of coming to the end of my driving anxiety because I just went back to a driving instructor. And I think that my driving anxiety is a very long story, so I don't know where you want me to start, but I am definitely someone who is affected by this issue. And it was also one of my main motivation to talk to you today because, of course, for a very long period of time, I thought I am the only one. And literally, I find your channel 2 months ago, and it was the
Yeah.
time when I realized that what? Are there so many people with this issue? So it is my same motivation to help people not to feel so alone with this case.
Yeah, that's good. So can you tell me what happened when it began? Like the first time you ever had it? What was happening?
Yeah, so actually, so I am someone who anyway fought a lot of issues in my life, and I have to say that it is a wonder that I can sit here today and in this form and relatively healthy. So I didn't have the easiest life at all, and yeah, so how this whole thing have started that so my mother, she also had a license and she never drove. So she just got her license and never drove. And I think also there was this part from my father because his father actually used to be a driving instructor, a very hardcore old school one.
Yeah.
So I guess that, he had a lot of bad memories and experiences. And there was a lot of projection in them. And so from the very beginning, even from the idea that I wanted to get my license, I get extreme negativity from my parents. So for the first time, when I presented my request for them, like, yeah, I was a teenager, like, pay for my driver's license, they were extremely negative. And so actually the resistance what they had, it was not normal. So I do think that as a parent, it is your responsibility to help your child really grow and give them wings and all of that. So it was actually something that I didn't understand. And
Mm.
of course, as the time went ahead, I understood where all of this negativity is coming from. And it took me a lot of effort to get my license. And but anyway, in the following 9 years, so me, after getting my license, absolutely with my own resources, I didn't drive. And recently, I just felt the courage that, okay, it is time to go back. And thanks God, I find a extremely great, friendly, sweet instructor, and we just started to work together. So I think that restarting is so much
Mm.
harder than starting at all,
So really
if it is answer to your question.
yeah, your problem began before you even drove. It was like the negativity before you even got in a car. So it wasn't really that you were driving and something happened. It's just right from the beginning. So when you say you're coming toward the end of the anxiety, how has it changed?
I think, Paul, really, so it is your basic mantra when you keep saying like driving anxiety has nothing to do
Yeah.
with driving. And this very sentence, it helped me so much. And actually, I am in psychotherapy anyway for different type of
Oh yeah,
reasons.
yeah, you mentioned. Yeah.
And that's why I also started to understand that really it is just one manifestation of the lot of other issues I was fighting in my life.
Mm.
And yeah, so I have to say that your sentence, I'm telling you, so this driving anxiety has nothing to do with driving. It hit me so hard. So actually, it was the time when I bought this coupon for like a online theory program. So I refreshed my knowledge about the theoretical part of the driving, and it took me extra 2 months when I had the courage to get in a contact with the instructor again. I
Mm.
was extremely open for it. And it is crazy because he told me that he has so many people who are restarting as well. So, it is just very interesting to hear this feedback because you would tend to think like that, oh, I am the most miserable person, only I am sitting here with this problem. And that's why it is so important to give this type of interviews, because people in the same shoes, they have to feel like, no, you are not alone and you can do it, because I
Mm,
am nothing unique, nothing special. And if I can do it, then anybody can do it.
that's good. So would you say the therapy or the instruction, has either one helped more, or is it both that have both helped, or
I think what really helps, so first of all, this like general psychotherapy, it helped me a lot.
mm,
And I also do think that so the question, what you have in your questionnaire before we got in touch with you on your website, it also had a very reasonable question, because you asked the question like, do you have abusive relationships in your life? And I fought so much in my life to close all of these people from my life who were abusive with me. And really, it is like half healing. So excluding these very negative individuals, it is already half healing when it comes to anything. In this case, for example, driving. So first of all, the general psychotherapy helped me a lot. And after that, your motto, really. So
yeah,
I also kept using it as type of mantra, like driving anxiety has nothing to do with driving. And also what helped me a lot, that I became very realistic and down to earth about it, that okay, so what is my problem with driving? So I just started to list it. So for example, it is how it started, like I don't find it too difficult to drive alone, or I don't find it too difficult to drive in a zone which is 30 kilometers per hour. So, I just started to really break into teeny tiny pieces that, hey, it is not true that I have a driving anxiety, because I only have anxiety from certain parts of driving.
mm,
And it was also such a beautiful realization when I realized that I don't have driving anxiety. I have issues with some parts of driving, because I just simply don't have enough experiences yet.
yeah.
So I think that it was the combination of all of this. And of course, I was also doing your hypnotherapy, which was very useful as well.
Did you find any link between the driving problems and the other problems? Or did you think, oh,
Absolutely.
that's, yeah. Is there anything you could tell us about, or is it too private?
Well, I think so. My family of origin wasn't the most healthiest background, I would say. And so actually, just as I started to make myself independent from their effect in my life, it is also how my attitude towards life and towards driving also became more positive, because I will just give you a absolutely nonsense example, but it is how I grew up. So
Yeah,
I was literally 17 when I went home, and, enthusiastic teenager. So I just told my parents, like, yeah, so I really want to get my license, and also my other friends are starting it, blah, blah, blah. And it was the attitude, like they were shouting with me for 2 hours long and saying this type of mean things, that you don't even know which one is your right hand and left hand, saying this to a 17 years old teenager. And also, one of my parents would say, like, me having a license, it is just as unnecessary when there is someone who lives alone in the middle of a forest and has a beautiful costume for like a gala, or like, this type of like very fancy event. So it was my parents' comparison, that how unnecessary it is for me to have a license, because she was the one who also didn't drive.
yeah,
So that these type of things are affecting a young soul so brutally and so painfully. And it took me very, very long years of psychotherapy to go like that. It is their opinion, and here I am, and it is absolutely my responsibility to figure out who I am, because it is an opinion, it is not a actually a realistic description of me. So actually, just as I became, because they were like this about anything, so I realized that, listen, it's not true. So let me see what is the reality. And just as I stepped into reality, also, for example, in the reality of driving, I realized that, my instructor said on the first lesson, like, you are such a calm person. I can tell that you are not anxious at all. It is what he told me
mm,
on the first training. So that's what I'm saying, that there is obviously a hand-in-hand connection between
mm.
every different type of life issues and with the so-called driving anxiety.
because a lot of people have that. A lot of people who come to me say their parents couldn't drive or didn't drive. So, what would you say if you could give one tip? Imagine you're the therapist now. What would you say to anyone who's in a similar situation? One thing they can do to start fixing it.
Well, I think that just be very honest with yourself. And I think that also be ready to kill all of the holy cows, because of course, still in our culture, it is a holy cow, right? So parents are untouchable. You are always supposed to be grateful what they ever did to you. So I think like be ready to kill the holy cows and really look into the face of the reality and really be able to differentiate whether is it really you who is so bad, or is it actually some other people's opinion on you? So I think that it is the most important thing to have this reality check. And I think really to just make the whole issue so tangible, and also just keep writing down what is your attitude really towards driving, just as I said. So really like let's just break it in teeny tiny pieces, like I don't have a issue with like the clutch control, or for example if someone would say like actually I can park really well. So really I think that if you are going to break it in pieces, that or for example I have a very good like observation technique in the driving. So if you are able to break it in pieces, you are going to realize that you don't have a driving anxiety. You might have some issues which need some extra development. So this is my tool. It worked for me, and I hope that at least it is going to work for some other people as well.
That's good. And as you found your driving has got better, has anything else in your life got better as well?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. So actually, so I've been in this very intense psychotherapy in the last 3 years, and it has been a blessing for me, really. So actually, I was able to kick out the very abusive people of my life. I was able to start a business. So of course, it having a own business which still
Mm.
runs. In the last 3 years, my business has been running. So of course, it gives you such a big self-confidence. And actually, I wasn't the best dancer back in the days, and I was able to enroll myself to a dance school, and I feel like it's great. It's good for
Yeah.
me. I see how my movement is developing. So I think it is very important for people to experience like that you can do things what you always thought that you are not able for. So that's why I think like if you can find like a training program what is like 1 week, 2 week long, and it's very different. So let's say it is surfing, and you think like, oh, I'm definitely not able to do that. Then you are there and you make it. Then it might also give this type of like analogy that if I was able to do that, then maybe I am also able to drive.
Yeah,
So
because a lot
I
of
think
people
it's
who
like
come to
that.
me, they think it's just the driving. They think I'll just fix my driving, but you can't just fix your driving because it's not about
No.
driving. So you mentioned dancing, business, and driving. So that's three things at least you've done. And this is what people don't realize. It's more than just driving. So that's been really good. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Well, Paul, actually, maybe I have questions to you, but it is so much that I don't want to rob your time,
I
and
don't
I
mind.
just
If you haven't got any, that's fine. I just wondered if you wanted to ask anything.
yeah, it's very nice of you, but because there are really so many things in my head, and as you can tell, I am not someone who is able to speak so promptly. So that's why what I would just tell you that I am extremely grateful for you, and I'm sure that there are a lot of other people who are very grateful for you. And only for this, of course, you are a valuable human being, but only for this one sentence, like you are able to say you are the only one on the internet who says like driving anxiety has nothing to do with driving. I think you already saved the world.
No, that's good.
So
That's
you
good.
already
It's good. Good
part.
to know.
You
Save the
already
world.
did your part. You already did your part in saving the world with this idea, and it's very helpful. So, yeah, I wish you really all the best, because a lot of people can be very thankful to you. This is what I wanted to say.
That's great. That means a lot to know. So I've saved the world. That's good. Right. So thanks a lot for that. I'll just stop recording now.